All right, cool. What are we doing this time?
Well, Gary, you see this nice little velvet sack that I have produced from my satchel, which is also made of velvet, right?
Crown Royal.
I know, right? Yeah, let's put this over here. We'll make 7 and 7 later. But no, this other velvet sack contains my deck of power.
Ooh, like the deck of many things.
Kind of, except, this one's a little bit different. So I'm going to shuffle these up.
Okay.
And I want to ask you to draw the card off the top of it.
Will do.
Yeah.
Oh, but this isn't from the deck of many things. This isn't even a magic card, Cole.
No. Okay,
Cole, this is sub Pokemon card.
No, let me take this. Don't worry. Hey, put the knife away, Gary. Let me interpret this because you may not be able to read the original.
You interpret it. It says
Nipponese.
Yu-Gi-Oh on the top of it. It just says Yu-Gi-Oh on top.
It's the Stairway Demon card. You don't understand. No. It's magical.
No, fuck, no.
Yes.
No, I didn't need this today.
Yu-Gi-Oh Worldwide. Stairway to the Destined Duel of Majesty.
God, that's not a name.
I'm pretty sure the real name stopped halfway through it.
Yeah,
0 to 60 and
yeah.
I suppose I could look in the editing program and see how long it took us to get there.
Well, I've been immersed in this for the last half hour, so it's on my mind.
No, it's very much so. Yeah,
it's in my load zone or whatever that name of that area is.
Your surface thoughts.
Yeah, I was thinking of the name of the cardboard.
Oh, God.
Not that proper cardboard, but the player.
Not cardboard that is useful and makes Amazon run, like cardboard that has genuinely made the world a better place. No.
No, the play zone of Destined to the Duel way zone.
Duel to Destiny. A duelist's fate. 2004. Yeah.
Eternal Stairway, a Shattered Scroll EX.
Oh man, what's your name?
Gary Butterfield. Elemental Scroll Masters Blitz is my name.
Yes.
Gary Butterfield, Elemental Scroll Masters Blitz.
Yeah. And my name is Cole Ross, Vessel Zephyr.
Yeah, yes, legendary magician and dark attack esoterica.
Yep. Noir.
And this is Abject Suffering. The show where we hate anime.
Why are you doing this to us?
Yeah, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? What a claustrophobic night we'll have. Behind the scenes, we're recording the first episode of Bonfireside Chat about Berserk, which is a manga that's very good. And at the same time, I'm immersed in this anime bullshit for Abject Suffering. And it's a whiplash experience.
This is a nice little bit of, let's just call it coincidence, because we're able to get all of our anime poison out. And not and not literally litter our discussion of Berserk with our, we're on the record as saying that anime is one of our least favorite art forms of the past 40 years.
In Berserk, when somebody gets raped for no reason, I'm still going to mention it.
Yeah.
Even if we talk about it in reference to Yu-Gi-Oh! Stairway out of order to the shattered escalator or whatever the fuck this is. So, the name I've not been able to remember no matter how many times I read it.
Nope, it is a Teflon name, Gary.
Yeah.
But no, so we're still going to be upset about some stuff in Berserk, which is legitimately upsetting. However, this is upsetting in the sense that all anime is somebody making like a real squinty face going as a sweat drop falls by them. That's all that anime is.
I mean, so like I try, that's what it is with the worst haircuts that I've seen in an anime, which is a medium known for legendarily bad haircuts.
Yeah.
Like these characters look so bad. Like the design sense of this, and I'm not going to go further than this world, because I played this and I lost 3 duels. And I was like, all right, what else can I do to fill the half hour? Let's watch. So first of all, I thought about, and I'm not kidding, before I texted you to remember the name, was to pretend that we were doing a Digimon game. And then just play a Digimon, and I was just going to play it as a bit and just be like, oh, well, you talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to talk about Digimon, so I can play a Digimon game for a little bit, as opposed to, and then just talk about the rockin' theme song.
Yeah.
But I watched the first half hour of the movie that's on YouTube, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Like Time Masters from the Eternal Stair Car, that's on the front, and it is. It's really annoying.
Yeah,
it's really annoying.
It is. It is the worst.
Would you rather lose an arm, like a Vietnam style loss of an arm, or
as opposed to
earn a bachelor's
there's
degree?
a special way that people lost their arms in the 60s. They did it with class.
They did it in where was their parade? Yeah. Would you rather do that, or would you rather earn a bachelor's degree in Yu-Gi-Oh lore?
Okay, so I'm gonna say Okay, so here's the thing: if I was put into like some kind of like Skinner box where I was in there for 4 years, isolated from the rest of the world, and I was just doing Yu-Gi-Oh studies, maybe I would take that over losing an arm because I like my arms. I'm fond of holding stuff with both hands. Like my dick. No.
What if? Okay, so let's up the ante. Like, okay, I think that's probably the right choice. That's the entry. That's the starter.
So, like the reason I put that caveat, being alone in a box doing that, is because if I was going to a university studying Yu-Gi-Oh, I would have to study alongside Yu-Gi-Oh fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and taught by a real Yu-Gi-Oh master.
Yeah,
like
Yu-Gi-Oh are the champions. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wish. Like, I could do a whole podcast on that song. This is not that. It's just, just Yu-Gi-Oh! It's so stupid, and everything is so ugly.
Yeah, I didn't realize until I played this and I saw some of those just dynamite player portraits that hairstyle, kind of like that weird Ethan from CAD flowing locks kind of look. Like all of them kind of look. They have like Zapdoses perched on their head.
Yeah.
They've got legendary birds perched on their head.
They're wearing like a mural on the side of a mid to upper scale Mexican restaurant instead of hair. Like it's like, oh, like you mean that guy that has his haircut that looks like El Reyes? Yeah, I like that place. Okay, I'll probably like duel this dude.
Of this dude. And literally, I'm looking at. I assume Jimmy Yu-Gi-Oh. His hair is 3 colors. No, 4 actually, because there's purple in there too.
Yeah. Like he's like a girl in a band.
Yeah. Okay. So just a girl in a band. So, jeez. So lest it sound like we are, just making fun of the most surface level, like lol anime, sweat drops, bleeding noses when people got boners, and crazy hair. Like, we're not just making fun of that; we're making fun of the laziness behind it.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's not. It's just ugly, and like there are animes and things like that are not this like weirdly like it's like the bus ads of the anime world. Mm-hmm. Like it just look like there's no style or grace to these designs, and not even in the monsters. And Cole, I love monsters.
Oh yeah, I would say I'm more in touch with monsters than people because some say I'm a monster inside.
Yeah, who's the true monster?
But they just don't know it, right?
It was man. It's man. We're the monsters. I love looking at monster designs. I like looking at badass wizards.
Oh,
a lot of times they're summoning wizards.
Most of these cards are wizards if you believe the actual descriptions and not just the black box that is on the cards.
Oh yeah, the lazy.
Oh my god. Make little thumbnail versions of your fucking cards when they're face up, not just a black box on a card.
Yeah, like censored. I just imagine a gigantic clit underneath each one,
like throbbing. Like like this is the kind of clit you can check a pulse on.
Yeah, exactly. Maximum cataclysm,
maximum cliticism of Battle City Millennium
Esoteric
World.
Attack.
Yeah,
exactly.
Significance of magic and wizards vulva. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you're going to show me a censored bar, I'm going to put something there. That's just how it's going to be.
Yeah, let me see your pyramid of light.
Yeah. So you can't see, but nothing meant anything to me because it's a card game, and like the other thing I thought of when doing this, other than considering like Digicide,
Yeah.
was thinking about how much more I like the Pokemon card game for
Yeah?
Game Boy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like it so much, and there's only one of those, and there are infinite Yu-Gi-Oh games.
Yeah.
Infinite.
So I made a reference to this in the last episode of Abject Suffering. However, like when I worked at GameStop, these Yu-Gi-Oh games were the bane of my existence because those
'cause you
Game Boy
couldn't tell
Advance
them
cards.
apart?
No, you couldn't. They all had this, just like the characters. All of the like label art looked the same, and because the titles are so long, they're so tiny, and like kids would come up and like be like, oh, I want the Yu-Gi-Oh game. Can I check in here? I can't see it. Let me get inside there. Unlock it. And they're just going through. I'm like, oh no, I actually already have Yu-Gi-Oh Zexal. I'm looking for capsule monsters.
Yeah. No.
you know, but like
don't you just grab these kids and show them Pokemon so hard?
just like this is filled with childlike joy, and like for the first like maybe 3 generations, they had good character design on the monsters.
Yeah,
you know, like
and there's a rock solid game underneath.
Yeah.
You know, like it's about as good as a JRPG as you can get. Like there are better ones, but it is solidly B+ JRPG.
Yeah.
Under there.
Okay, Gary, we're getting into controversy area, the controversy zone. Can I make a blanket statement about another race of people?
Like every fiber of my being says I should say no, but I'm compelled. I'll save my game and say yes.
Okay, there we go.
So.
This is just something, having worked for 8 years as a clerk at GameStop. Black people love anime and wrestling.
I feel like YouTube has shown me that too. Like when sometimes every once in a while, like a YouTube tube tolerance thing will show up on Sean Elliott, and it'll be like a black dude who's way into anime. Mm-hmm. You know, like I feel like I've seen some support of that.
Yeah. So I just like that challenges my preconceived notions, because I always associate wrestling and anime with low class white people.
Yeah, me too. Like skinny Poindexters.
And then I realize bad taste knows no racial barriers.
No, it certainly doesn't. Like, yeah.
So it was bizarre. I don't know if it was my like weird reverse confirmation bias that made me think like, why do all these black kids want to buy Yu-Gi-Oh? Like I'll sell it to them. They can come in. It's fine. But
yeah, it'd be problematic if you wouldn't sell it to them.
Yeah, I know.
That's a lie.
Yeah, that is
not
a
for
lie.
You.
For you in associating with me, and as well it should be. But
I wonder, I haven't read anything, and I'm not saying I wouldn't guess as to what the results would be, but I've never seen a study that breaks down game genre by like race, interest by race by game genre.
Uh-huh.
Like, have you ever seen anything like that? It just seems like it's something I would have like just seen a reference to. And I'm not saying this should be done.
Nope.
Like, we're in a real dangerous situation, like territory. I'm not saying this is something that it would do or would say anything necessarily. I'm just kind of curious, like if it's been.
Well, it's like it just recognizing that it would be descriptive, not prescriptive, right?
Yeah.
But like, it's just a weird thing to observe, and like we are both fact hungry people, and that would be an interesting thing to know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wanted to say that because. Just all of the ridiculous Yu-Gi-Oh and Dragon Ball Z stuff, like that was primarily who it was sold to. And
most of the Dragon Ball Z fans that I see tend to be like white dudes, and also tend to be my friends. Like I have a lot of friends who are way into Dragon Ball for some reason.
Oh, I had my period, like in the Toonami days.
Called off pregnant.
Gary, I'm late. Yeah.
Thank God, guys. All right, fellas.
Yeah. High five. Let's go have a drink. No, but like I liked Dragon Ball Z when I was in 5th and 6th grade. Up to like let's say the end of the Namek saga. Before they took that big hiatus before the Cell saga, but like, but and kind of the same thing could be said for like Pokemon and anime based card games, because like I was like crazy into the Pokemon card game. Like I've been going through my old stuff from my parents' house, just thinking like, okay, I've got a big apartment with places to store things, so I'm going to get my stuff out of my parents' house, and there we go. So I've got like my old Pokemon cards in a binder in a room, like in the room behind me. And so, like, I'm looking through them, like, oh, this is like a really fun game, very well designed. I never played any Magic, so I couldn't be like, oh, it's so finely tuned and blah, blah, blah. But I had a lot of fun when I was like 12 years old going to Toys R Us and Comic Adventures and playing the Pokemon card game with people. And when Yu-Gi-Oh came across, it was like, no, that's bullshit, because that's just like following on the coattails. And instead of, all of it is crass commercialization, right? However, Yu-Gi-Oh came across to me as like, because the cartoon is about cards.
Yeah,
it's
got that Transformers factor, or 80s cartoon factor, where it's just designed to sell you things.
Yeah, whereas like Pokemon was about these cute monsters and friendship, and then the cards were like an approximation of this Game Boy game I already loved. So
yeah, like the plot of Yu-Gi-Oh is like a guy discovering Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing that it doesn't just like they're not just prices on the cards in the in the TV show.
Like when they summon one of the monsters, it's like, oh, bring here.
It requires a tribute of
it requires a tribute of $14.99.
Yeah,
which like that niche. Like, just think about this. That niche has been replaced with microtransaction free-to-play games on iOS. Just so you know.
And there are plenty of them that are you actually get a card thing, but those microtransactions are way more insidious because it's like a thing you don't actually own.
Right.
Buying a new game piece. We talked about this in the D&D episode of Watch Over Fireballs. Like, buying a new like Magic is less insidious than a microtransaction thing. I feel like like it is insidious, but more insidious than D&D. Like there's a Insidium continuum.
Yeah.
That we're looking at.
Insidium continuum. So like. Yeah. It's almost like the amount of effort that's involved. Like you could play D&D if you just kind of knew the rules and were sitting around with a bunch of people. Playing Magic would require you to actually create fake Magic cards, I feel. Whereas,
but you can also but the thing is, so you buy in, you're paying like a subscription model. Like Magic is a subscription model.
Yeah.
And then so it's like, yes, I had to put this money into it, but I own these things. I can sell them, I can trade them. Yeah. They're still mine forever.
I could be heartbroken when I check eBay 20 years later and realize they're not worth anything.
Yeah. But I mean, like that microtransaction model is like you just like get a power boost.
And it's in the ether and then it's gone.
Yeah, it's in the ether. It gets you past the level and then that's it.
Yeah.
So and there's no social aspect to those. Like you're not trading, because that's a big part of why you might want to buy Magic cards. Like nobody traded D&D books. Like I guess people did, but they loaned them out and everything. But that's
like even to play D&D, you had to be around other people unless you're doing some kind of weird like play by post shit. Which why? Yeah.
I have I'm not against trading card games. Like I had a long Magic phase. I had a little Pokemon phase. I love that Game Boy game.
Oh yeah.
I played through that multiple times. Like I wish I had more cards. Like I wish there were sequels to it. And I wonder if there are fan made, kind of mods to it because
that'd be nuts.
Yeah, like I would play the skip the tutorial and then add cards from later sets. I'd be way into it. That game was really fun.
I wonder if I still have that.
I know I still have it. Huh. Like I've seen it recently.
Yeah.
All that weird stuff. Like there's the guy who liked taking his picture because he thinks he's cuter than Pikachu.
Yep.
Yeah, the weird like gimmick decks. All kinds of personality there, which is like personality is the thing this game fucking lacks.
Yeah.
In a big bad way.
It's like it introduces itself by saying this is a city that is built specifically around dueling these blah blah blah, and you've got the guy who has the creepy mustache, and it's like go out and like maybe, and then he makes a really strong point. Like he makes a point of saying you can only track people electronically who are in a district next to you, which I don't.
Well, they're kind of bearing the lead a little bit because right before that he said like all participants in this duel have to submit to electronic tracking.
Yeah.
And like what? Wait, what? Huh? Like why isn't this not a yes no? Why do I have to just click through it? I don't acquiesce to that. Like, what are you doing, little Yu-Gi-Oh guy? Run!
I agree to nothing.
Like, yeah, don't let this mustache guy put a chip in you like a dog. Just because you want to play cards with your friends, go learn Magic.
It's not too late for you.
Yeah, it's totally not too late for you. Go buy the Portal Basic set.
Yeah.
It's like $9. You and your buddy will have some fun. How did you win anything? Did you win a duel?
Oh God, no.
No, yeah, I didn't think so. Have you played this game before? Like, no. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh, not necessarily. Like, are you a big fan of Stairway to Heaven? Like, Yu-Gi-Oh Worldwide Edition Stairway to Heaven?
Stairway to the Breaking Levy? No.
Yeah.
I have not played Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I said, I dipped out as soon as I saw, like, oh, they're just trying to sell me cards, which I'm not saying Pokemon was not trying to do that. However, Just so I never dipped into it. I did play the Dragon Ball Z card game a little bit, but that was just because that was concurrent with that era. So I came into this knowing nothing about the system, and to be fair to this game, I didn't do any research into how it worked. I just tried to intuit, how the system was just based on the way things went. So
why isn't there a tutorial? Or like
that was my big question, because
instructions.
I remember the Pokemon game, which will be our eternal point of comparison for any digitizations of card games, that had a lengthy tutorial to it. And even like Magi Nation, which is another really awesome Game Boy Color card-based game, had a really, really long tutorial. Yeah. So like this, I think they knew so hard that anybody who would be interested in looking at this would already know what this shit meant, that they just decided, nah, we're not going to expend the energy.
Yeah. It's like in, you go see the Two Towers and just everything about it assumed, like no one's seen the Two Towers who didn't see Fellowship of the Ring.
Right.
So it just kind of starts off right in the middle and they don't reintroduce everybody. It made it hard for us though.
It certainly did. I mean, it's not like a really complicated game. I think that, okay, so a game like this, it's really, really nice to actually sit down and play through it with physical cards, because every single action requires you to check stuff. And that's how you learn the rules, is by actually going through it. The benefit of digitizing this and automating it is okay, so I don't actually have to worry about calculating everything. And I feel the same way about iPad versions of board games. I would really like to play the actual physical board game. That way the stuff that this is actually automating, I appreciate that it's doing it, but I still have an understanding of the system. So when I'm sitting down and it's showing me these black bars and just the name of the card, as opposed to being able to pick up the card and look at it and realize that it is a trap floor that captures all Destiny stairs to keep going back to stairs, sorry. It captures all that are above a certain blah blah blah. It means literally nothing, because actually deploying that doesn't cost anything to me.
I don't think it's that complicated either. And it does, when you say it doesn't cost anything, in that you don't understand the decision making you should be making.
Right.
You don't understand the repercussions, the opportunity cost of doing anything. I put out a guy. He looks pretty cool. Do I want to summon him or deploy him? Okay, well, I mean, I looked at a basic rule set, and I understand that it felt like Magic, but really complicated Magic in a way, because two things. So one is cards can have one of three positions: face up offensive, face up defensive, face down defensive. Ugh. But then didn't, in the instructions, didn't say what any of those meant. I understand what defensive means, but I didn't know. Okay, so how do I do that? How do I make a guy? How do I deploy him a way I want?
Yeah.
Nothing like that came up. So that was frustrating. Two, when you talk about digitizing this, doing the calculations would be valuable, because for some reason they took the fucking pinball approach to numbers on this.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Add 2 zeros to the end of everything.
Why? Small numbers. That's what makes the Mario RPGs so fucking great.
Or that makes Magic work.
Yeah.
Because you have to be able to do these calculations really quick. They're not only are they big numbers, but they are 0.5s too. So you'll have I had a guy who had 1650 in something. So what is the convenient way of me keeping I guess I didn't really understand if people had life left after they were attacked, or if you can attack the same guy twice, and if that was just you had to crest that number to kill him in one blow, or if you could stack up blows. I didn't really understand, but if you can stack up blows, that's really annoying. Am I supposed to put down 1,050 counters on him to represent the rest of his life after he gets attacked by this guy? Why would you do that? Other than just anime bigness.
Yep.
I can't believe his power is incredible. He does 23,000 esoteric attack.
Yeah.
Oh, anime.
I'm gonna put a marker there, because that rant should be a ringtone. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. What's awesome about Pokemon, and I'm actually really sad that they made it so that a marker was 10 HP, Like, just make it one. Like,
Yeah.
like this is, you're relying on people doing this math in their heads, and yes, people are smart enough to be able to blah blah blah. I can calculate sales tax, move the decimal, double it, whatever. But like, just for the interest of design and elegance, like that informs so many decisions down the line. And if you're just trying to like drive the bigger number without like hinting at like some smaller utility that's behind it, like I don't know, there's subtlety that we're probably not seeing.
Oh, sure, of course, yeah, I'm sure there is. Well, the other thing with the Pokemon thing is they were beholden to a property. So, like, if they had a Pokemon and Pikachu had 2 hit points, it might be kind of weird. But I think part of the reason what we're picking up on in hating this is the crass commercialism of the fact that this was a card game before anything, and then became a TV show and a movie to promote the card game.
Yeah.
As opposed to Pokemon, which was a video game and then a cartoon, and then late in the cycle, relatively a card game.
Yeah.
So like that kind of monetization came later. It wasn't just the point of it. Whereas this is just, and you look at, well, it's not Digimon. I actually don't know anything about Digimon other than the theme song. I was thinking Monster Hunter. Every reference, so theme song, yes, but Monster, I was thinking about. Monster Hunter doesn't require, like that's a monster battling, like kind of similar thing. Doesn't require that kind of money and is based on a property. Like, property first, then the craftsman, commercialization, not the other way around.
Like Monster Hunter was a pretty jammin' like PS1 game that had this awesome gimmick where you turned your music into monsters. Yeah. So it's like Revolution X in that music is your monster.
Yeah. Well, it took the kind of random, or not random, but like that customization and just took it a different path with it.
Yeah.
As opposed to paying a set amount of money to get a chance at this thing you want. You can just kind of go through the stuff you already have and you probably have something you would want.
I wonder what would happen if you put REM's Monster into Monster Hunter.
I think it's a special, or not a Monster Hunter, it wouldn't play. But if you put it into Monster...
I'm talking about Monster Rancher.
Monster Rancher is what
Holy
actually...
shit.
I set you off on that, too. That's my fault.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So we're talking about Monster Rancher. There we go. Sorry, everybody. Go back 5 minutes and listen to all of that.
Yeah. But I think REM's Monster is one of the special ones. Like, there were CDs that had special things.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool, man. Let's do Monster Rancher for the show. Monster Rancher is pretty cool. Monster Rancher special CDs. Googling that.
Huh. So while you're doing that,
fish. Oh yeah, Monster becomes like a dragon, like a red flamey dragon. That's face looks like a little bit like the Monster CD logo.
That's fucking rad, Gary.
I know. You can get the guy from Deception for doing Tecmo's Deception. There's a CD by Fishbone that gives you a fish monster. Like if you're listening to Fishbone. The Men in Black original soundtrack gives you like a black sphere wearing sunglasses. So yeah.
Oh man. If you put
Horses by Patti Smith gives you Gallop, a horse monster.
Whoa.
Like that's a deep cut.
That is. Holy shit! You put in 2 princes by the Spin Doctors, and it gives you the like a Siamese twin prince monster.
Yeah. No, Kick by NXS gives you a soccer ball.
Yeah.
That's great. Good job.
Oh
man, very good job.
Huh?
Much better game.
Just the monster craze. The monster craze.
Well, I'm down with that. I'll take it. Monsters, man. Like I'm into monsters. My pet monster, my favorite monster, Monster Mash.
Yeah,
like, I can get into all that stuff. But
I don't know. I just Yu-Gi-Oh.
I hate it. Like I hate it, and I didn't want to have 2 episodes in a row where it's just me being angry at like the design of things. But I hate it the same way I hate those fucking troll dolls. They just look stupid, and I just can't handle how these things look.
So
and how they're designed.
I'm trying to decide if, even divorced of the aesthetic and all the trappings, if the game would still be good. I don't know that I know enough about it. I feel like I like Pokemon and what I know of Magic better because it's more elegant because of that numbers problem.
Yeah, you remove the numbers problem, and then I think it's probably serviceable as a game. Like it didn't in my very limited experience, which I'll admit, and people who are listening who are big Yu-Gi-Oh fans can correct us. It seemed serviceable. Like it seemed fine.
Yeah,
to me. Like nothing great. Like nothing that I was reading the Wikipedia on it, trying to find like what's the distinguishing characteristic. What is this known for? Like, oh, this game has received accolades for this, and I couldn't find anything.
Right.
So I have no idea what sets this apart.
And so like even just like looking at the looking at the game itself, and any of these Game Boy Advance versions of the card game, like that's a useful purpose, right? Which is, I want to play this game and like get better at it and understand it, knowing that I already understand it a little bit. And so, like, without needing to go to a place, I can just kind of masturbate with this Game Boy Advance version. Of it. Yeah. So, like, that seems useful if somebody is already, like, into it. But I would ask you to reevaluate some choices that you made that led you to that.
I think so too. Like even like the as much as I like the Game Boy version, it wasn't like as challenging as playing with real people.
Right.
It was just kind of a fun diversion.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that is essentially a social, 100% social multiplayer experience that just does not translate very well.
No. As
a video game experience.
So Gary, like, is there any like GameFAQs love on this, or were there just like, does this suffer from fragmentation?
No, it's all GameFAQs love, and it's confusing. Like, there's nothing that's funny. I didn't spend tons of research time because there's 1,000 reviews of it because this is a really popular series. They're all 8s and 9s more or less. But the only thing that was noteworthy of it is like the disconnect between the title of the review and the score. Like, there's these weird, like this guy Scrub King says it's a step up from Eternal Duelist Soul, but not by much. 9 out of 10. What?
Wait a minute.
A disappointing waste of money. 7 out of 10. Like, it's just very strange. Like, there's no real connection between these things. But people like it. Like, I mean, if we are to trust the internet, which, I consider not to be a good practice, but these people are all saying it is a good game.
Yeah.
There are no critic reviews. It's all Yu-Gi-Oh fans.
Oh, I'm sure. Like, so, it's like NHL 2007 or something.
It's the kind of review
sure
game
is hockey.
Yeah, like if you worked like back when video games journalism was a thing.
Yeah.
If you were doing it, like, this is the kind of game that you'd have to review if you were a real low man on a totem pole.
Yu-Gi-Oh and then WWE something.
Yep. Just having to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I just like going through the message board, trying to find some spark of life, and it's really just like card tips and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's an active, like, vibrant community,
Yeah.
But it's just I guess it's not that active and vibrant.
But
they're
like,
the poster from a long time ago, but they're just talking about card strategies, which is what you'd want to be talking about.
Yeah, about a card game. I haven't heard about Yu-Gi-Oh outside of like ridicule in so long.
I've never met somebody who was into it. Like,
No.
I've never had a friend go through a Yu-Gi-Oh phase.
Mm-hmm. And so, like for me, just like I look at this with a measure of just derision and acerbicness or any other number of bad adjectives. But like I also look at it like there, but for the grace of God, because there was a definite moment. There was a definite moment, like when I was around the age of like 13 or 14, like right before I left middle school and went into high school, where I decided, oh wait, anime kind of bullshit. It was like, oh, maybe I got exposed to Cowboy Bebop, and I thought like, oh, this is actually like pretty good. And then I looked at everything else, and it was like, oh, like the percentile distribution around this is so bad that nothing will be worth my time. Like
it's really hard. Like I won't throw a dart in the dark in like a room full of anime and hope to see like
you will leave
get
that
something
room.
Decent. I'll go to a different house. Like there's good stuff out there.
Oh,
obviously, like I'm always like my hatred of anime and my dislike of anime, and in general, a lot of manga and everything. I don't want to, it's dangerous to dismiss an entire culture's artistic works, which I'm not doing. Like, there's stuff that I like, but I think what it is that the thing. So if you can agree that a certain kind of medium or style is going to have some common touchstones. Mm-hmm. Then it can be true that when those touchstones are done poorly, they are specifically distasteful to me.
Right.
So it's not even, because most everything is shit. Mm-hmm. Even if most anime isn't shit, when anime is shit, the things that it is are specifically obnoxious to me. Like, they're just like, like it just hits my disinterest button really hard. Mm-hmm.
It's like the things that make it anime are the things that make you not like anime.
Yes, and all the anime I like is totally in spite of those things.
Right.
Like, I'm not even, again, just talking, like, we're going to record this thing about Berserk. Like, there's, dumb anime-ness stuff that happens in that, as much as I really like that as a work, when characters are standing on the sidelines saying things like, his power is incredible. I've never seen a man take that many. Like, that's so annoying to me. Like, it's really annoying. It's just the things that surround that are good enough to make me ignore it. And this game does not, and Yu-Gi-Oh! In general does not have that. I watched that movie. I watched the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Why would you do that? You didn't have to do that. You pull your hand off the burner, Gary. Come on.
I was eating dinner and watching watching another thing or reading a thing in another browser. Like, it was out of the corner of my eye.
Can you say anything about the plot? Like, about what happened? Can you name a character besides Yu-Gi-Oh?
There's several characters. There's Yugi something else too.
Oh God.
The plot. This movie is so poorly constructed. It's an hour runtime or 100-minute runtime. 15 minutes was narration about the history of these Yugi characters.
Jesus Christ,
I think
Gary.
recapping other movies, and they were like really battle heavy, where it's like, yeah, I will destroy you for entering my sanctum. Nah, maximum wise man wizard attack. And just, I'll summon Shiritu, the forgotten entombed one. And then they just show like a big anime like transformation sequence, essentially. They don't actually show a fight. There's no give or take or tension or anything. It was villain saying I have 9, hero saying I have 10. And that being it. And then just some flashy lights and bad designs. So poorly paced. And I'm not kidding, 15 minutes before it got to the actual title screen credits. Like that.
Christ on a bike. Did you get the sense that by them saying like I summon Trial of the Mind Entombed One, that they were that they were coming out and just saying to people who had actually played that card, like, holy shit, I know that he has 17,000 attack and only 800 defense. What's going to happen? That had significance. That was
or at least that it was supposed to be impressive.
Okay.
And not just because of the way that the character delivered the line, but the way other people would react to it. These were supposed to be impressive to the viewer. And there was nothing on the page that looked impressive to a neophyte.
Yeah.
The story, the main character was this kid who's going to dueling academy, and he's kind of a fuck up and he's late and everything. And the narrator said in 2 different ways, he was always sleeping through his classes, but he never slept through his duels. And then later it said, he always failed his test, but never failed to impress with a duel, or something made the just the same structure, a different way of saying it, and just it's this localization. What's going on? What is this? How is this on a screen? How did this get money to be made? How did this make money? How does this have, a 75,000 YouTube comments and
because
200,000 likes and.
So I'm convinced, with the majority of these things, it's because there are scientists who are sitting around a table in a room somewhere who have decided that this is how you make people like a thing.
Yeah, it's the product of a scientific.
Yeah, it's like a military industrial complex that is some scientists and business people sitting around a table with a transparency projector. They're all smoking profusely, and they've said this is how we're going to make billions of dollars.
Yeah. That's just cynical. Cynical.
Blah. We never said who suggested this, but I feel that it must be underlined. This is et tu, Brayton.
Yeah. This is one of my best friends who did this. Who I think, this has to mean that he has experience with the game. He didn't pull this out of nowhere.
He might have
played the. Well, he had. We're friends with this guy Jeremy, who was into anime stuff, and Jeremy's a saint. I love Jeremy. But he was into some of this bad anime shit.
Yeah.
And Brayton was probably exposed to it by him. He was roommates with him. So he learned a lot of stuff like that. But this is so rough. This is so goddamn rough, Brayton. What are you doing?
Well, he's living into the mission statement of the show.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's really insidious, too, because it's not an obvious choice. It's there's 1,000 Yu-Gi-Oh games. What could be the harm? Damn.
This is exactly the harm.
Yeah, that could be the harm.
Yeah. That's a bullet
go
straight
go
to
fuck
your
yourself,
heart.
Brayden.
Yeah.
You're one of my best friends. Go fuck yourself. So hard.
Yeah, it's real rough.
A terrible game. What do we do next time, Cole?
Well, next time we are doing a PC game, the first PC game for the show, called Bad Mojo.
Yeah, it actually looks kind of neat.
Does it?
So I'm looking forward. Yeah, I thought so.
Have you gotten it to run?
No, I haven't tried it yet.
Okay.
And since that's a PC game and it might not work, if that does not work, we're doing another one from Abject Suffering superfan Eric Hyde, my friend from back home, who suggested Cool World for the SNES.
Cool World?
Cool World, based on the Brad Pitt half-animated Ralph Bakshi vehicle. The little trivia about me, I saw it twice in the theaters.
Is this like the Brad Pitt Fish Called Wanda, or what?
It's way worse than A Fish Called Wanda. It's a really bad movie. It's like a Roger Rabbit. It's like half animated, half real.
Yeah. Well,
but like adult. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, have you surely seen pictures of Cool World?
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay.
No, I've not seen Cool World. I've seen Roger Rabbit, like, definitely.
Okay.
But
yeah, it's like a bad Roger Rabbit, like a scuzzy, dirtier. Like it looks like when you look at the like a still from Cool World, your eyes get syphilis. Like it is so scuzzy and gross.
Is it like Fritz the Cat scuzzy, or is it?
Without being explicitly pornographic, but
Okay.
yeah. It's that same kind of like everything is dirty and grimy. Like everything looks like
without having like the cool noir stuff about Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. It's trying to do that. Like it is kind of noir-y, but I mean, I'm sure none of this applies to the SNES game, which I get is going to be a shitty platformer where your vertical of your jump is too far and your horizontal isn't enough. There, I called it. Like I haven't played it, but that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So.
Huh. No, I'm looking at Google Images, and literally every shot is of the like hypersexualized, voluptuous Marilyn Monroe stand-in.
Yeah,
which like don't make her a blonde. What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, Jessica Rabbit's a little troubling in the first place.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
I understand. Like that's what it's riffing on, and that's it was weird that they tried to make that cartoon that sexy.
Yep.
In retrospect, and I've seen Roger Rabbit even recently, and they do some of that sexualization is really strange.
Yeah.
So I will blame Roger Rabbit for that as well, and blame Eric Hyde for suggesting this game.
Yep.
Which I'm not looking forward to playing.
Nope.
Nope. But that's so we're doing Bad Mojo probably, if not Cool World. If we do Bad Mojo, we'll do Cool World afterwards.
Yep. So we got a couple in our pocket. We're good. It's walking around podcasts.
Yeah.
Cool. Mm-hmm. So, in the interest of stuff you can do, numbers have been up recently. Thank you, everybody, for downloading and for telling friends. This is very important to us. This is a fun thing for us to do, and to know that it is slowly but surely gaining in popularity is heartening.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Yep. In addition, if you would like to join in the conversation, the Facebook page is not that active, but we do post stuff there from time to time when it occurs to us. That is facebook.com/abject suffering.
Indeed. You can check out our other shows. Watch Out for Fireballs, Bonfireside Chat, The Level, and then check it out Comrade. Are the active shows right now. And then we have some archives, older shows, things that are kind of petering out or coming back in various states of unrest and ennui.
Yep.
But that are all, all worth checking out. Duckfeed.tv.
Yep.
Is where you want to be.
It's all there. And ratings and reviews in iTunes never hurt if you are a person who can stand using iTunes.
Yeah. In fact, it always helps. It always makes us feel a little bit better.
Yes, it does.
And I think that's probably it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm done talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! For the rest of my life. Like, I really don't want to see it or hear about it.
If you see that crazy wing hair, you're just going to go into a full-on Danang flashback. Reach for your phantom arm.
Yeah, just that I decided to lose instead of going to Yu-Gi-Oh! Getting my bachelor's of science in Yu-Gi-Oh! studies.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Or just do Yu-Gi-Oh!
University of Yu-Gi-Oh!
University of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Does Yu-Gi-Oh! Stand for something other than just like a bad website that bought one up sometime?
Yeah.
Like, does it stand for anything else? Is it supposed to be an acronym?
Well, there should be a disambiguation page for it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's see here.
Yeah,
let's go. Yugo province in Japan.
Maybe. Makes sense.
Yeah. No, it's just a bunch of names and people and stuff. But
that's what it all boils down to.
Yeah. But until next time, sacrifice.
Yeah. Sacrifice a monster for this thing. And then just have it get one shot by something that doesn't look that cool. I don't know what to fucking say.
They can wipe the board. What's happening? It's just numbers and colors.
Yeah. oh, I can't believe his power is incredible. He does 23,000 esoteric attack. Oh, anime.